The Game Awards is tomorrow, and there's already a lot of hype surrounding the event in terms of video game announcements, from Resident Evil Requiem being confirmed to showcase something new by Jeff Keighley himself to a random statue found in the middle of the desert that apparently teases a brand new game, potentially a horror game being announced at this year's Game Awards. There's really a lot of things to get excited about for this event, as this one, dare I say it, may very well be the best one yet. So as a horror content creator, and with so many exciting horror games currently in development as we speak, today I want to focus on the 10 most insane yet possible horror game announcements that I would love to see at the Game Awards. Before we get started though, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel for more survival horror content. Also hit that like button if you enjoyed today's topic. Finally, this video is officially sponsored by Nerdspace Game Shop. Today you can pick up your favorite piece of merch and support the channel at the same time. Currently we only have one custom made design known as the Boulder Punching Collection. Do I have to say exactly what this is a reference to or not? You tell me, but I do have a lot more designs on the way, each being customly made by the very talented Demento Artworks. So yeah, pick up your Boulder Punching shirt or sweater for yourself, or even a Christmas gift just in time for the holidays, and support the channel at the exact same time. Anyway, my name is Ruben with Nerdspace Games, and here are 10 insane horror game announcements I want to see tomorrow at the Game Awards. Let's get it. Number 1, Leon's reveal in Resident Evil Requiem. Man, this kinda sucks. So I recorded this video a day before the recent PlayStation leak, which confirmed Leon Kennedy was indeed in the game. But originally I had planned to talk about how I was 100% sure that Leon was not only getting revealed at some point before the release of RE9, but it would specifically happen this Thursday at the Game Awards. Unfortunately, because of that leak, that bold prediction doesn't seem so bold anymore now, does it? Still, I'm going to talk about it just a little bit here, and instead adjust my prediction some by talking about specifically what I think we'll see from him at the Game Awards. As stated earlier, I do think we'll see him in some capacity and we'll hear his voice. Hell, we'll probably even see a scene that is kind of similar to the RE2 Remake's first trailer scene, in which we see Leon confronting a zombie for the very first time inside of a gas station. However, I don't think we'll see much more than that. Actually, I'm willing to bet we won't see any gameplay of Leon, but instead, more Grace gameplay. Leon's gameplay will probably be saved for the showcase next month, but I do think it's possible we will finally see the announcement of the collector's edition of Resident Evil Requiem. Personally, I believe the reason why Capcom hasn't revealed this collector's edition yet is because they plan for Leon to somehow be involved in it. Whether that's because it'll feature both Leon and Grace as figurines, or just because Leon is the center of attention in the bundle. Now that he's getting confirmed at the upcoming showcase, it seems that we'll probably finally get that bundle revealed to us soon. As for what else we can expect from RE9, I do think it's possible that we get another minor character revealed to us to some degree. Maybe we get a scene in which Leon is talking to Hun again, or we see a shadow in the distance that kind of reminds us of Ada Wong. But whatever it is, I do think there will be some other surprises in store for us outside of just Leon. So yeah, while the big wow moment was kind of ruined for us, I do think there are going to be some other wow moments, at least one other wow moment at the Game Awards, so stay tuned, guys. Number 2, first look at Silent Hill 1 Remake. Earlier this year, at the Silent Hill transmission, we got confirmation that Bloober Team will indeed be remaking the original Silent Hill game. As someone that absolutely loves Silent Hill 2 Remake, and as someone that grew up adoring the original Silent Hill trilogy, I was beyond happy to hear this announcement. I can't wait to see what Bloober Team does with the Silent Hill 1 Remake, but unfortunately, we only got a brief teaser confirming that the game is currently in development and not much else other than that. However, I do believe Bloober Team went into developing this game not long after completing Silent Hill 2 Remake, and personally, I believe this studio is aiming for a 2027 release date. Now, going back to Silent Hill 2 Remake, the first trailer dropped in, 2022? 2 years before the game eventually released. With that in mind, I think there's a solid chance that Konami could drop the first ever trailer for Silent Hill 1 Remake in the next few months, and what better place to drop a new trailer for the game than at the biggest gaming event of the year, the Game Awards. There's also rumors making the rounds suggesting that Bloober Team and Konami will drop a Silent Hill 1 trailer at the Game Awards, but honestly, none of these rumors are anywhere near concrete, so take all of that with a grain of salt as always. Still, I wouldn't be too shocked if this did happen, especially if Silent Hill 1 is indeed planned for a 2027 release date, then a trailer this month would keep it on a similar timeline as Silent Hill 2 Remake. Number 3, Danganronpa 2x2 Public Demo. One franchise I don't cover nearly as much as I want to on this channel is the Danganronpa series. Yeah, outside of RE and Silent Hill, Danganronpa is easily one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I absolutely love these games, and while they are technically not horror games, I feel like they are horror adjacent thanks to the themes and storylines of each mainline game. Before I go on, if you guys have never played a Danganronpa game, then I highly recommend that you change that soon, because man oh man, are these games good, and now that we are getting a new game, sort of, next year, yeah, this channel is about to start jumping into that universe a lot more, so get ready. Moving on, Danganronpa 2x2 is a recently announced Danganronpa game that is technically a remake of the second game. I say technically because it's not only a remake but a whole new game. It's honestly kind of hard to explain, but basically 2x2 is going to be a remake of that second game, but it will also feature a brand new campaign with new stories, twists, murders, and class trials. Essentially, it's kind of a brand new game with the same characters of Danganronpa 2. Anyway, recently, the first bit of gameplay was shown off as there was a playable demo at the 15th anniversary event for the series in Japan. Unfortunately, this demo was only available at this event in Japan. Well, this game is scheduled to release sometime next year. My hope is that at the Game Awards, we will get a new trailer and a release date, and potentially, and I know this is a long shot here, but I think it would be absolutely awesome if they shadow drop that same demo to the public immediately after the Game Awards. For the record, these anime style video games do this kind of thing all the time, just throwing that out there. However, with the game still not having a release date, I do think it probably won't happen, but yeah, your boy can definitely dream. Number 4, Ill release date. It doesn't matter how many times people see the gameplay of Ill, the same argument keeps coming up among horror fans. Is this game really this good, or is it a scam? Since it was first announced, everybody thought that this game was never gonna happen. I mean, an indie horror game that looks and plays better than a lot of AAA survival horror games, complete with one of the most iconic voice actors out there in the form of Nick Apostolides, aka Leon S. Kennedy himself. Yeah, I really can't blame people for doubting this game. However, despite my own reservations about Ill, every time I see this game, I just get more and more impressed with it, and I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut, stop doubting it, and judge it when it comes out, because regardless of what people say, the game looks damn good every time they show it. It definitely passes the eye test for me at the very least. Anyway, we saw a brand new trailer of Ill at Summer Game Fest this year after being radio silent for a long time, and like I said about Resident Evil Requiem, if this game showed up for the first time in forever at Summer Game Fest, then I'm really confident that it'll show up again at the Game Awards, which is an even bigger event hosted by Jeff Keighley. But I don't know. I don't think that they are just going to show another trailer. No, I think these guys are going all in at the Game Awards, and this time we will get a release date for Ill, confirming a date sometime in 2026. My guess, for some reason, I'm thinking around March or April. At the very least, we'll probably get a release window for the game at the Game Awards, like Q2 of 2026. Number 5, Darkwood 2 official gameplay trailer. One of the best top-down survival horror games of all time is Darkwood. This game definitely leaned a lot more into the survival aspect, but it did so in a way that really elevated the horror of the game. I can't think of many survival games that gave me this much anxiety, and a lot of it comes down to the atmosphere of the woods that you find yourself trapped in. Anyway, just a little while ago, we finally got confirmation that a sequel is on the way, and we even got a small taste of the gameplay. Granted, there wasn't much in this teaser trailer, but it did show off some of the improved visuals and designs that we'll be seeing with this much anticipated sequel, which, by the way, looks pretty good. Still, I would like to see a little more of the game shown off. Now, I don't think we'll get a release date announcement at the Game Awards, even though that would be great, but I do think we'll at least get an extended gameplay trailer. Keep in mind, this last trailer was more of an announcement trailer or a teaser trailer, not a gameplay trailer. So at the Game Awards, I'm hoping they show off some more monsters, survival mechanics, and a little bit more of the atmosphere of the second game to really get us hyped for this game. Oh, and yeah, by some miracle, if they drop a release date, that'll be awesome too. Number 6, brand new PlayStation 5 horror IP. At the time of recording this video, it seems that nobody has cracked the code as to what this mysterious statue found in the Mojave Desert symbolizes, with Keighley being the one to reveal this statue by giving out the coordinates of its location. Clearly, this is a tease towards a major announcement at this year's Game Awards. Now, there are theories all over the place as to what this statue could hint towards, from Elden Ring 2 to a remake of Sega's Alter Beast. However, not many developers or publishers will go this far to market their upcoming video games. But there is one studio that never fails to deliver on clever ways to market their games: Sony. Yeah, I think whatever this statue hints towards, it's a Sony IP. As to what type of game, well, I think it'll be an original game, and also basing it off of the designs of the structure itself, yeah, I'm gonna say that this is some sort of sci-fi horror game. I'll be honest, by looking at the designs, I would love to find some kind of strange way to connect it to a Bloodborne remake or sequel, but yeah, wishful thinking there, as the designs of this statue lean more towards a sci-fi horror game rather than a Lovecraft horror game or a Bram Stoker horror game like Bloodborne. Still, I'm excited to see a brand new horror IP by Sony, so hopefully that really is the case, because I really feel pretty good about this structure, this statue, symbolizing or hinting towards a new horror game by Sony specifically. Number 7, Silent Hill Townfall gameplay trailer. Near the start of this video, I mentioned how I would love to see a Silent Hill 1 trailer at the Game Awards, and how I said it made some sense considering that the game will probably release in 2027. However, there's one more Silent Hill game that is planned to release before Silent Hill 1 Remake, and that is the first game of No Code's anthology series, Silent Hill Townfall. And considering the fact that we have seen nothing from this game outside of a short teaser back in, 2022? Yet this game is rumored to release in March of next year? Yeah, I think it's about time we see some gameplay shown off now, right? So regardless if Silent Hill 1 Remake gets a trailer at the Game Awards, I think Townfall is almost guaranteed at this point. Fans are already nervous about this game as rumors point towards it not having any gameplay and instead being a narrative-driven horror game similar to Supermassive's Dark Pictures anthology series. In fact, Supermassive was originally supposed to be the developers of this game before Konami was unable to make a deal with them and they moved on to No Code instead. Still, the Silent Hill universe and the lore within it makes a lot of sense for a narrative-driven anthology series. And if done right, it could be really good and a lot of fun. Just make sure to lean towards Until Dawn versus Silent Hill Ascension in terms of the core gameplay, dialogue, and cast, and you could potentially have a massive W for the Silent Hill IP. Unfortunately, Silent Hill Ascension kind of soured the taste of narrative-driven Silent Hill games with little to no gameplay, hence why a lot of people are concerned about Townfall now. But I do think if Konami and No Code does this the right way and delivers an immersive story with multiple branching narratives that really dives into the lore of Silent Hill, then this game could really surprise us honestly. Regardless, with the game being radio silent for about 3 years now, and with the rumor to release at the start of 2026, I feel like the Game Awards will be the time we finally get an update on Silent Hill Townfall. Number 8, Until Dawn 2 announced. One of the biggest rumor projects for years now is the long-awaited sequel to Supermassive's breakout horror game, Until Dawn. Yeah, Until Dawn 2 has been rumored ever since last year, and there were even talks of it getting announced around the same time as the movie did earlier this year. Unfortunately, we haven't heard or seen anything about Until Dawn 2 thus far, but I do 100% believe it's in development with Sony in partnership with a different development team. And yeah, that means Supermassive will probably not be the ones to give us Until Dawn 2. Instead, I believe Sony is looking to pair up with a different in-house team to deliver this much anticipated sequel, and I think that there's a solid chance we can finally see it get announced at the Game Awards. Clearly, Sony has a lot of confidence in this IP considering the fact that they remastered the original game last year and released a live-action movie adaptation earlier this year. So with that in mind, I expect Until Dawn 2 to release sometime in 2026, and if that's the case, they'll have to officially confirm it soon, right? My thoughts is that they'll probably drop a short teaser trailer announcing the game at the Game Awards, and then dropping a full gameplay trailer at the next State of Play. Until Dawn still remains the undisputed narrative-driven choose-your-path horror game of all time, and if the sequel turns out to be half as good as that original game, then yeah, it'll be incredible. Number 9, Alien Isolation 2 teaser trailer. October 7th of last year was a great day for sci-fi horror fans as one of the best sci-fi horror games ever created, Alien Isolation, finally confirmed a sequel is on the way. Not only will this masterpiece of a horror game be getting a sequel, but the director of the original game and creative assembly will all be back to deliver this much anticipated sequel. Now, to this day, the original Alien Isolation is one of the scariest horror games I've ever played, and it's because it features potentially the best stalker enemy in a horror game, the Xenomorph. The Xenomorph in Alien Isolation was absolutely terrifying, and it would adapt to your playstyle and at times completely outsmart you, the player. How many enemies in horror games can actually say they outsmarted the player? Anyways, I'm extremely excited for Alien Isolation 2, but even though the original director and development team is returning for the sequel, there's not really much we know about this game. For one, we haven't seen anything of it, not even a title reveal or a logo. Hell, I don't think they officially confirmed Amanda Ripley is coming back, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So guys, let me know in the comments if you heard anything about that, because I'm not sure Amanda's officially confirmed to be returning as the protagonist. Actually, going back to how this game was announced, it was actually Creative Assembly who literally just announced it by posting a tweet that confirmed the sequel last October, and that's really all we got on this game. Since then, it's just kind of been absolutely radio silent with no updates on the project. Also, just because the director and Creative Assembly are coming back to make this game, half the development team that worked on the original game are probably gone by now. Let's not forget it's been over a decade since that original game released, and most of the original creators of that game are long gone at this point and probably moved on to other development teams. Regardless, I still have high hopes for Alien Isolation 2, and since it's been over a year since Creative Assembly announced this project, I imagine that they are just about ready to reveal a teaser trailer complete with the official name and logo of the sequel to Alien Isolation. Number 10, Outlast 3 revealed. The final major horror game announcement I would love to see at the Game Awards this Thursday, and I'll admit, it's probably the biggest long shot out of any game on this list, is Outlast 3. In case you guys didn't know this, Red Barrels, the development team behind the Outlast series, confirmed that a third game was indeed in very early stages of development back in 2017. Actually, they even came out and said that this game wouldn't actually start development until after they finished their upcoming project, which later was revealed to be the Outlast Trials. Now, I know that Red Barrels wanted to focus on the Outlast Trials, and even now they are consistently providing updates for this game and probably will be doing that for a while longer. And yeah, that game is great, and I'm not knocking that game at all. However, the original Outlast formula is what really impressed all of us and made us all fall in love with this franchise. The original game remains one of the scariest stealth horror games I've ever played, and I would love to see them continue that series with more insane horror games soon. And while there hasn't been any hints or rumors that point towards Outlast 3 getting closer to releasing, I feel like it's been long enough, you know? I mean, it was confirmed by Red Barrels in 2017, over 8 years ago, and the Outlast Trials has been out for what, 2 years now? Personally, I think Outlast 3 is farther along than anybody realizes, and I expect that it's only a matter of time before they finally reveal the game for the first time soon. And yeah, as I said multiple times now, what better place to reveal a massive horror game like Outlast 3 than at the Game Awards, the biggest gaming event of the year. But that does it for this episode of Nerdspace Games. Hit up the comments and let me know what you think of my list. Are there any major horror game announcements that you would like to see at the Game Awards that I didn't cover in my video? Which ones on my list do you hope to see happen the most at the event this Thursday? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more survival horror content. Also, leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed today's topic. But thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Nerdspace Games. Take care.